Assalamualaikum semuanya. Selamat datang kembali di channel kami. Aku Socha dari Indonesia.
Aku Ismail, aku dari Turki dan kita tinggal di Jerman.
Di video kali ini kita bakal sebutin apa-apa aja tantangan sebagai seorang muslim yang tinggal di Jerman.
Misalnya cari makanan halal, kurangnya masjid, tentang hijab dan lainnya. Jadi tonton sampai akhir.
Kalau kalian suka konten kayak gini, jangan lupa subscribe karena akan ada video baru setiap minggunya. So, check it out. Inilah 10 fakta tentang menjadi muslim di Jerman.
The first one about praying time. Praying time in Germany changes a lot. For example, in the summer the days are very long and the gap between prayer is very long. For example, at 9:30 you pray Maghrib, at 11 you pray Isha. And in the summer you pray very early Fajr, and in the winter in Germany you even at 8 until 8:20. There is an application we can check the time. For example, tomorrow the Maghrib is gonna be 2 minutes later, and like every day 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute it changes. That's why we need to always follow from the app. In the summer, for example, the Maghrib time around 9, but in the winter it's around 4:30. So very big difference. But as much as I know, in Indonesia it's not like that, right?
Exactly. Kalau di Indonesia waktunya nggak berubah sama sekali, tetap stagnan. Mungkin hanya berubah beberapa menit. So it's based on minutes only. So it's not like hours.
Because of location of the sun. So you are on equator, near equator. So that's why.
Betul. Karena kita ada di garis khatulistiwa, jadi waktu kita tetap stagnan dan waktu sholat nggak berubah terlalu jauh dari itu. Yang kedua adalah tentang hijab. Jadi orang-orang Jerman melihat hijab cenderung agak aneh. Aku nggak bisa bohong tentang itu karena ini bukan negara muslim. Jadi mereka melihat hijab sebagai hal yang antara aneh atau unik. Dari pengalaman aku, mereka melihat hijab entah waktu aku di jalan atau di supermarket atau dimanapun, mereka melihatnya secara terang-terangan dan entah apapun yang ada di pikiran mereka, tapi yang jelas hal ini bukanlah hal yang umum ada di Jerman.
The third challenge for us is about food. You need to check whether the food is halal. Like there is sometimes alcohol, a lot of other things which are not halal. We have an application. We send the product, or we need to check one by one the ingredients. You cannot, like in Indonesia or in Turkey, you cannot just go to supermarket and just pick something and just
randomly
pay it and buy it. I remember first days when I came to Germany, I spent 1 hour buying couple of things only in supermarket, but we kind of got used to, like, by the time I know like the location of the product in the market and whether it's halal. But if you want to discover any product, you need to check from the application, and sometimes the product doesn't exist in the application. And also when you go to a restaurant, before going, even like you have to call, you have to ask, is your food halal? And most of them are not halal. If it is like a Turkish restaurant, you like from any other Muslim country, it's not always halal. Even Indonesian restaurants sometimes not halal. We need to ask us. You cannot cut the animal like according to Islamic rules in this country. Like you need a certificate, and it's very difficult.
Yang keempat adalah tentang wudhu. Nah, kalau di Indonesia kita mengambil wudhu biasanya bisa di tempat umum atau di masjid karena tersedia tempat gitu ya. Ada keran khusus di kamar mandi, kita bisa ambil wudhu dengan gampang. Kalau di Jerman itu tantangan banget buat aku khususnya. Contohnya kan kita harus membasuh beberapa bagian tubuh seperti tangan, muka, dan lainnya. Dan di tempat umum, toilet umum, ada toilet yang campur, laki perempuan, ada yang terpisah. Wastafelnya itu selalu tinggi. The sink is always this height.
Yeah, I mean it's normal sink. You wash your hands normally, but you have to take wudu. When you go to restaurant, like, I mean, you cannot find masjid everywhere. For men, like, okay, it's a bit easier, but for women.
Kalau untuk perempuan agak menantang karena ketika kita harus membasuh kaki, like when we have to wash our feet, kita harus naikin kaki kita ke atas wastafel, dan itu rasanya agak kurang etis ya. Jadi kadang-kadang aku hanya ambil air dan aku basuhkan pakai tangan ke kaki gitu.
Number 5 is about masjid. Like masjids are a bit common, but not like as common as in a Muslim country. In Indonesia, like in Turkey as well, like in every neighborhood, like you can find multiple mosques. But here, like to pray Juma, you have to go like at least 10 10, 15, sometimes 20, 30 kilometers.
Okay.
Every week, if you want to pray, like for example with like Jama'ah, let's say, but there are, as much as I know, around 3,000 masjid in Germany. But even though you can imagine the country is big, so that's not enough.
Nah, yang keenam adalah tentang azan. Kalau di Indonesia kan umum banget 5 kali sehari kita denger azan tuh kenceng banget, dan biasanya kalau musola atau masjid itu pakai 2 sound. Jadi sound yang keluar dengan sound yang ke dalam. Nah, kalau di Jerman itu cuma pakai sound yang di dalam. Jadi kalau kalian kesini ke Jerman akan sangat jarang mendengar azan walaupun ada masjid di sekitar kalian.
The next one is hidden discrimination. Unfortunately, you don't see it. People usually don't discriminate you directly, but when you look for a house, for example, a job, if they see your name, like this is a Turkish name or Muslim name, for example, not only for Muslim, generally like for foreigners, this might be normal for them. Like for the job, I don't have a specific example.
Dan mungkin ini agak nyambung dengan yang hijab tadi. So probably it has like relation with the hijab previously. Like when you need a job, you send CV, right, with your picture or something.
Exactly, yeah.
And
And
then
people see already your face. It can be in any other countries as well, because you're a foreigner, you know, they have their own rules, you have to respect them.
as much as I know, Germany has rule for this, but this
Exactly,
is the
yeah,
they cannot
yeah.
discriminate based on religion, based
how you
on
look,
race,
exactly, yeah.
and those kind of things. Even though you feel that kind of smooth discrimination, but at the end of the day, probably you will get what you want. But it's really like
Yeah,
not
it's every
as
German.
fast as German. Dan yang selanjutnya adalah tentang menjadi Muslim adalah minoritas di Jerman. Jadi kita mau nggak mau harus menghadapi fakta itu bahwa tidak banyak orang Islam di sini. Kita harus beradaptasi dengan situasinya, dengan budaya kita, dengan bagaimana kita beribadah, dan tetap menjalankan itu semua sebagaimana Muslim di tempat ini. Tantangannya adalah kalian terkadang sendirian dan tidak ada komunitas yang mendukung kalian atau melakukan hal yang sama dengan kalian, berbeda dengan di Indonesia, yang mana kalau misalkan kalian mau beribadah di masjid, semua orang ke masjid gitu misalkan. Jadi itu tidak terlihat aneh. Tapi kalau di sini itu agak susah untuk dilakukan. Ya, itu adalah fakta yang harus dihadapi bahwa komunitasnya tidak terlalu semasif di Indonesia.
Number 9, finding shop. You need to search, you need to find halal meat, and this can be a Turkish market, Asian market. I mean Asian market, like not all of them, of course.
Almost all of the Asian markets here are from Japanese or Thailand,
Yeah.
those kind of things, and Chinese. Makanannya kita nggak bisa tahu pasti whether it's halal or not. We don't know.
We need to ask actually, even if it is Turkish market, yeah, in your neighborhood there is a market, you cannot go to that market, you cannot just enter and buy meat and eat. So this is like in a Muslim country, this is very easy, straightforward, but here not at all.
Jadi yang terakhir tentang kebersihan, karena di toilet umum, nggak cuma di toilet umum sih, di toilet di rumah juga nggak ada bidet atau semprotan yang biasa kalian tahu di samping toilet untuk kita bersih-bersih setelah buang air. Nah, di sini itu nggak ada. Biasanya kalian bisa nemu di masjid ada bidet semacam itu atau semprotan, tapi itu jarang banget. Nah, untuk mengakali itu kita biasanya bawa botol kosong buat bersih-bersih. Jadi diisi air dulu di wastafel, baru kita masuk toilet untuk nanti bersih-bersihnya pakai air yang di botol tadi.
I hope you enjoyed the video.
Dan semoga informasinya bermanfaat buat kalian. I think not only Germany, in most of non-Muslim countries, you will need this information, I guess.
Just write your opinion about it. If you live in a non-Muslim country, just let us know what challenges you. As a Muslim, like living in Indonesia, let us know how do you see this. If you are planning to come to Germany or like to Europe, any concerns you have, just let us know. And don't forget to like, share with your friends. Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.